Welcome back to My Cup of TV with Jenny,
JD and Kat.
So, Vampire Diaries, Season 4, Episode 6. We all go a little mad sometimes.
Oh.
Which I will one day use as my defence in court.
Sure. Billy Loomis scream.
Yeah.
That's the line.
Well, isn't it from... I don't know that it's from Scream or whether he's... I've always wondered whether that's a Scream line or whether it's one he's quoting, because he quotes like other stuff.
Movies and stuff. Yeah.
Or Alison...
He says we all go a little mad sometimes. It's not Everybody's Mad Here, which is
I was gonna say
Alice
Alice
in Wonderland is
Wonderland,
yeah. But no, he says we all go a little mad sometimes.
So please remember to like, comment and subscribe. In the comments, what's the one thing you've done in life and kind of gone, I must have been mad?
Just saying that by going to this episode, we all go a little mad sometimes. Who are they talking about? Who is that going to be?
Jenny.
Me, if someone keeps driving past my house on a loud motorbike like that.
But you know, like your last one, you were like, oh, killer, who's it going to be? Do you know what I mean? As in, I'm trying to, like...
Who's going to go mad? Who's already mad?
Oh, no.
We've already been through the whole Alaric situation.
Maybe it's going to be the creepy professor. Oh, maybe it's her. Oh, of course it's her. She was the hallucination.
You better not be reheating a cup of tea, because that's wrong.
Who was that? Did you guys see who it was before?
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it Connor?
Yeah.
Oh.
Here it goes. That's what's happening right now. Jeremy. Jeremy!
Close to this.
Ew! Ah!
Oh my god.
No.
Jeremy, no.
Oh god. You knew that was coming!
I can't believe this.
You should call Stefan.
I don't trust him right now, Damon.
Hey, yes, I called Stefan.
We're celebrating our fallen hybrid friend. Told you.
Just crossing some lines.
Well, don't let me interrupt.
Brought your stuff. Old laptop, your jersey, the charm bracelet.
Okay,
Ooh.
this isn't a good...
Klaus is going to be happy.
Oh, yes.
For what? I think you've got more important things to deal with, mate.
Oh, is it an act?
Yes.
Whew. All is right in the world.
Told you.
But you are right,
Fucking
Kat.
told you.
Sorry. I have a question. So, we've seen a bit of like rabies madness in vampires, but only when they've been bitten by werewolves, right?
Yeah.
So, am I right in thinking that we haven't seen any other vampires sort of have these kind of hallucinations just from killing somebody?
No.
Okay. So I'm wondering if it's Elena. It's either her personality, or I'm wondering if it's witchcraft, or there was something on Connor, or like a spell, or
her guilt just making it go a bit cray.
yeah. But literally to the point where it's like physical. Do you know what I mean? As she stabbed you, like that's really intense. So. Sorry, I just wanted to check. Do you know what I mean? I was like, we haven't seen any other vampire go like down this route, so it may not just be isolated to her first kill. I don't know if it's something to do with a spell on Connor or whatnot. Who knows? But or just her guilt. I don't know.
I'm concerned about your beloved. Have the hallucinations started yet?
Oh, interesting.
Well, you know, I killed the original 5 hunters, remember?
What is a
When one
hunter?
kills a hunter, there's a bit of a consequence.
Consequence.
Hunters will... What's wrong?
Lena!
I think they've got to let him take her. Because he
Think.
seems to be the only person to know who knows what's going on.
You'll get free admission to my free exhibit.
Oh, the occult exhibit.
Why does he look so familiar?
I'm more worried about what Klaus said about this hunter's curse.
How does Klaus even know about this?
How's Klaus know anything? The guy's like 1 billion years old. He said it was witches.
But I can't ask Shane for help. He knows everything about everything.
Great. You two do your thing. Where you going? I'm gonna get her back.
Shane's now going to find out that Hunter's dead.
Let go
That's
of me.
true. Also, we don't know why April recognises Shane. We know why she recognised Connor because he tried to kill her. But we don't know why she recognises Shane.
No. I'm dead. But you know I have family. A brother. Parents. Are you sorry about your parents? Should have thought they died.
Oh, that's how they make her the last victim. Is they drive her to suicide.
Now it's said that Silas wants to rise again, regain his power, wreak havoc on the world.
Okay, either that dude is Silas or he wants to raise Silas. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Don't you ever stop crying. Poor Elena, always the victim. You're a vampire. You'll kill again. It'll change you and it'll keep changing you until you're just like me. I am nothing like you.
Still always so impressed on how such a different person with the same actress.
This is the hunter's mark. Where did you get this?
Came to me in a dream. Do you know anything about the hunter's curse?
That person will be cursed to walk the earth in torment until the new hunters awaken and our legacy is passed on. They're called potentials.
How are we supposed to find a potential hunter?
Yeah, about that. Little Gilbert, your services are needed.
Thanks.
I don't feel like they've thought this through enough on speaking to Klaus about the curse.
Oh, she's going to think he's a hallucination. Oh.
Elena, stop.
They have not thought that through enough.
How did I not? You need to kill a vampire.
Great. Give me a stick. I'll kill Damon right now. Easy, Van Helsing. We'll get you one.
It's the right thing to do, Elena. You know it is. Admit it.
Because I'm a monster.
That is horrible, using her mother as a hallucination. That's horrible.
Clever though to push her and then to give the reassuring voice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's one angle they hadn't tried. It's awful.
You're doing a good thing, Chris.
Yeah, well, let's see how fast a good thing can get me out of town. Going somewhere. Jeremy?
Get that fucking ring.
David?
So to be fair, even if they'd kept her in that room, Jeremy would have had to have killed a vampire anyway.
To stop them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for you.
I'm about to take a very high and annoying road. But this rough patch that you two have been going through is not what you think. Everything that he's been doing for you. There may be a cure.
We needed to help our friend.
Yeah, we helped our friend by handing over another friend.
And Chris wasn't.
Chris was a friend. Still saving a spot for Mr. Saltzman, huh?
Say I'm in the market for a new drinking buddy.
You're not qualified. I know that you don't like me. So April mentioned that her dad knew that Professor Shane guy. And we live in a town where, anybody who knows stuff is creepy until proven otherwise.
You're on the verge of impressing me.
You're like, good thinking, Matt.
I got the sheriff to dig up the pastor's phone records. And on the day that the console got blown up at the farm, he called it 10 times. The office of Professor Atticus Shane.
See, Matt's a smart human. He's not useless.
Yeah.
He's good.
Why did you send Damon to come look for me instead of you?
It seems like he's able to get through to you in ways that I can't. I mean, after everything that we've been through, you can admit it.
Who I am, what I want.
What you want. Or we want. I can't do this, Elena. Not anymore.
I know.
Okay.
Man, that was a loaded episode, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, should we start with Elena? Obviously, it's very Elena focused episode.
I was right. I was like, why is she going mad? I was like, this can't just be that. This is spooky. This is some sort of magic.
I told you there, Jeremy. I just didn't know they had to activate him.
Yes,
He was asleep herself.
yeah.
Yeah, so we saw that the hunter's curse was sending her little
Man,
rat.
that's nasty. That's like, everyone has bits about themselves that they're ashamed of or they don't like or whatever, but that's literally like just pummeling and pressing that button
Yeah.
from every angle. And then to bring out her mum, like he was uncovering every stone to press that button, you know?
Well, you think he went through Connor being the person that she killed and her guilt over that, to bring in Catherine, the person that I think Catherine represents everything she doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
She looks at Catherine and is like, I'm not her. I will never be her.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like we said, her mum, to bring in that comfort at the end as a, you're doing the right thing type.
Yeah, and that it's okay, it'll be painless.
Yeah.
It'll be, oh wow, yeah. Very savage.
And for once, Klaus was doing the right thing.
Bloody hell, Klaus.
I think that Klaus would have killed Chris himself for disappointing him and disobeying him, even if he hadn't. All he did was let Chris go and then be killed by Jeremy. So that's really unfortunate. That's really horrible. But
I meant Klaus doing the right thing with Elena, keeping her.
yeah, that's what I mean. And there's
yeah.
and him wanting to keep her there, and then
She was safest.
It's funny, isn't it? Because he doesn't. Well, he wants to turn her human, and then he's got her blood again,
Yeah.
doesn't he? So he does still need her.
it is self-serving.
Because I was almost thinking,
Oh, yes.
he actually doesn't need her anymore. No,
Absolutely
no,
self-serving.
yeah, completely. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But again, as we always say with a lot of things in Vampire Diaries and in general in TV shows, none of them spoke to Klaus about why he was doing that. What was the purpose?
No, because they don't care.
So they went to go and get her out and look what,
Yeah, because they don't care. They just want. They don't care about the motivation. They just like, well, Klaus is doing what we want, so.
Because also they can't trust whatever he says anyway. They can't. There's no trust there that it's actually going to be told the truth. So. And that's a grave that he's dug himself.
Yeah.
You can't then suddenly turn round after crying wolf or whatever and then expect people to believe you the one time you're genuine. Like you
We
can't.
also, do we know if he's got the sword?
Yeah.
We're assuming.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
dug it out and
Yeah,
you
he
saw
dug
it.
it out,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But then you could argue Stefan's willing to go along with him on the whole cure thing
Mm.
and trust him on that.
But again, that's because Stefan knows that is genuinely what Klaus wants because he wants her human blood. So that's fine for him to go along with that. It's always that if it's self-serving for Klaus, then you can trust that is what he's going after.
Yeah.
But keeping her alive.
Because otherwise there would be no
It's
reason
self-
for Klaus to keep her alive.
Yeah, but he's put her in that room to keep her safe. And they've gone and released her, and that's.
Oh
put her
yeah, it
back
was
in-
stupid for them to
Yeah,
let
that's
her
what I
out.
mean.
Yeah.
They haven't even tried to work out what's Klaus's goal here. What's he?
But they also haven't tried to sort of work out, like, Yeah, like he was keeping her safe. There was no indication that he was going to keep her there after it had finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also kind of arrogant of Stefan to think that he could. Okay, if at that point they knew it was some mystical magic they were playing with, I think it's quite arrogant to go in and think like, oh, I could convince her if I could just get close enough to talk to her. Have you learned nothing so far by witches? Like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, why did you not leave her there? As you say, she is safe. But even regardless of Klaus, if she's in a fucking padded room or whatever, why did you think you could go in and you could be the one to talk to her? Like, why? I don't get it.
I think because
the magic is more powerful than you.
Because you want it to be true.
I know he wants it to be true, but it's just like, what has he learnt? Nothing from his hundreds of years of. That actually seemed kind of stupid. Anyway.
I think the whole plan to get her out without having worked out what Klaus is.
Yeah, that seems very naive, which actually, given how old they are and what they've learnt so far, seems out of character.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe there's an element in there of Stefan wanting to do that because by this point Stefan is seeing that she's connecting with Damon more than him.
Yeah.
And maybe that was Stefan scrambling to be the hero, and that'll bring her back to me. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? But something, maybe Stefan wasn't thinking from his right mind.
Yeah.
Because everything he would have known up to now, he's always been the one that's like, we've got to respect the witch's power. You know, like, you don't play around with this. It's Damon usually the one being like, nah, screw it. You know? So for Stefan to
Damon
be...
and witches.
Yeah, so for Stefan to be the one to be like, no, it's fine, I can do it, I know I can talk her out of it. I think maybe there was something else driving him than just logic and common sense. I don't know.
But again, maybe where Stefan hasn't witnessed her during like an episode.
That's true. He hadn't seen her up to that point really, had he? Because he wasn't...
He'd come in after the Jeremy thing had happened. Do you know what I mean? So... You know, we've said it for other people. It's so seeing it and hearing about it too.
Sometimes, unless you see it for yourself, you just can't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. But yeah, poor Elena. That was a tough episode for her.
Although Jeremy.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. I can't wait to watch back on my reaction to that because I was literally like, that was awful. Poor girl.
Poor Jeremy.
Yeah. Yeah. But really interesting. So her, sorry if I'm skipping ahead here, but still on Elena. So by her going through that, and then by the end of the episode, it's almost not only has that kind of sometimes through the bad traumatic experiences, you realise what you do really want, where your heart really lies.
I think she also had to face some things she doesn't want to admit to herself.
Yeah, but also going through that, it brings it back to reality. And when you've been through something, survived something, it's almost like, okay, she's a vampire, so I can't say like, you haven't got time to waste, but what's the point in living a lie? If you've been through all of that and then you've come back to find as close as possible your peace, you know, like, what's the point just dragging out a lie?
Yeah, just that refresh of what am I doing?
Yeah, it like gives you reality check.
It's interesting though, isn't it? Because they're saying like her feelings for Damon have been magnified because she's a vampire. Why have her feelings for Stefan not been magnified because she's a vampire?
I was wondering that too. And
because
maybe that's
it
because
magnifies
that's
everything.
Yeah.
So actually, is what we're saying that her feelings for Damon were actually more when she was human.
She was just
It's
better at
she was
denying
doing a
them.
better job at denying it because she was human, and now because she's a vampire, everything's gone like.
I do think though, if you look at her journey since she's turned, that her and Damon have bonded. In a different way.
I think that comes out that he's much more accepting of
her.
Her. The same as him. There's shades of grey. No one is all good or all bad. He's not putting her on a pedestal. He accepts her for fucking up and whatever she's going to do, mistakes and whatnot. So
I think she's
very
definitely
different.
Been able to be herself and open more with him than she has Stefan.
Yeah.
And that's partly, I think, as well, knowing the issues that Stefan has with his rippercide and everything. She's maybe trying to, like when he spoke to Caroline about, I don't know how to let her be and go with her without myself becoming who I don't want to be.
Yeah.
So if she
like a drug.
is picking up on that and aware of that, that could also be why she's pulled away a bit.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, isn't it? Like you say, she hasn't really been able to be herself because when her and Damon went to the college, and she was having a great time, and she came back and she said to Stefan, Damon taught me how to feed and I hated it, but no, you didn't hate it at the time.
No, you hate yourself because you loved it.
on reflection.
Yeah.
And because of the way that Bonnie looked at you and the way Stefan looked at you. You didn't hate it up to that point.
It's like
Damon accepted it and was like, yeah, great, this is great.
Yeah.
It's like a one night stand that at the time you were having a great time.
Yeah.
But the next day you're like, oh God,
Shit.
I shouldn't have done that.
But it's almost, hers is almost because of the judgment of other people.
Societal conditioning almost.
Yeah.
She hates herself if she's still comparing herself to what she has to live up to as a human. She hates herself because she loved it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas actually, it's almost like when she was a human with Stefan embodied everything, all the values and the chivalry and everything, and all the wholesomeness that she wanted to live as a human. Now that she is a vampire, Damon personifies everything that she wants to live as and that acceptance. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like Stefan, ironically enough, even though he's a vampire, would have been her perfect partner for Elena as a human. But Damon is the perfect partner for Elena as a vampire.
And Damon is obviously, like from what he said, he has drawn a massive line under, like, we've had an agreement, whoever she chose would be it. He's kind of sticking by that because he said to her,
He really is.
I'm going to stop here. Like, that could have gone somewhere.
Yes, and he said, I'm about to take a massive high road, which is not like him.
It's not like him.
It's also not the first time in the episode, because remember at the beginning when she called Damon, not Stefan?
And he was like, oh, I called Stefan.
Yeah, he is. He's not trying.
No,
he could be
doing
totally
the right
self-serving,
thing.
like what you're suspecting Haley of doing.
He
Could be
very
totally
much,
self-serving, but he's not. He's being very, very honest and transparent,
Yeah.
which... But as much as, and I'm not forgiving any of Damon's crappy behaviour in the past, but this is showing him taking that high road. It's giving him a lot of...
it's also not the first time...
What's the word? When you give someone a lot of...
Kudos.
Yeah.
It's not the first time, because he did it before... Was it last season? Where he did say at some point to Elena, Stefan didn't betray us. He did this, I think it was to say something to save Damon, but he's done that before where he's kind of... They've got closer and he's kind of been like, It's like, I don't trust your feelings if you don't have all the information.
Well, it's almost like for Damon's self-respect, I can imagine after what he went through with Catherine, feeling like an absolute mug, he doesn't want to be with someone unless he knows they are genuinely choosing him when they know absolutely every detail. He doesn't want to get her because he cheated the system. He wants to get her because she genuinely chooses him because she has an absolute clear choice.
Again,
and I respect that of him.
And not that kind of, well, Stefan's gone bad, so he's not an option now.
So he's the second option. He literally
also,
wants to
he's obviously
be
put
chosen.
her ring back on, put her into bed, and he's sat on the windowsill.
Yeah, he's been there all night.
But he's not been lying in the bed with her, he's sat on the windowsill.
The one time he does actually respect a bit personal
Do you know what I mean?
boundaries.
And that's not what we've seen from him before.
No.
I think it's because he knows something's changed. And
I think maybe he's a little bit scared of it as well, because he's like, this is going to be a make or break moment. How are they going to navigate this? I thought the conversation between Elena and Stefan at the end on the porch was very mature and very calm and very honest and vulnerable, which was good. So therefore, I think there could be, it depends and it's up to Stefan what he wants or whatever, but there could be, rather than allowing it to get really messy and for people to get really hurt, I think that there could be room for them. It's amicable, you know? And I don't know what's going to come of it. Stefan may be like, look, I give you my blessing, you guys, but I'm going to go because I can't watch this. I don't know what's going to happen.
Odd one, isn't it? Because they've had this situation with Catherine before, so potentially neither of them wants a girl to come between them again either.
But then we've got to remember that Catherine was deliberately playing them, whereas Elena's
not.
not.
It's a bit of an odd situation to be in. So Stefan's been in that situation where he's like, oh yeah, she's chosen me. But clearly in the back of his head, there has been this little... but she has feelings for somebody else. Because I don't know about you, but if I thought someone had feelings for somebody else, regardless of whether they've chosen me, I'd be like, I'm gonna go because that's not that's not cool. Like, so has that been playing on his mind the whole time that actually yes, she chose me, but
it's not because the feelings and it's not because the feelings for Damon went away.
No,
it's just because she made a choice in crunch time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The conversation on the porch at the end, it's one of those moments where, as much as it's heartbreaking for him, I'm like, good for you, Stefan.
I feel like it's so much healthier. Yeah, that was a really healthy conversation for both of them.
I feel like, as nice as she is, I feel like sometimes with those two, Elena she relies on I don't know, when
Yeah.
actually in reality, I think you always know, you just don't want to necessarily
We
be
see that-
savage enough to
admit
say
to
it.
that
Pretty
decision.
brutal.
And we've seen that a lot of Elena, not just in her
Yeah.
relationships, but in general, of not wanting to admit to herself things that she doesn't like.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
we all
Yeah.
do. Yeah. But, yeah.
But also not wanting to admit to herself things that she does like just because they don't fit in a pretty nice little socially acceptable box.
But people do.
Yeah.
For sure.
People do
For
that.
sure. But yeah, you're right. I felt there was a very healthy conversation for Stefan,
Yeah.
very self-respecting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for
He
him.
was
Good for
literally
him.
like, I'm taking myself. I'm not
Yeah.
doing this. I'm taking myself out.
And
of
it's
it.
that.
Because he's had some clear signs now, and he's like, look.
And it's not that he loves her, but he's not going to be
He's not
a
going to be a
simp.
mug,
He's
is
not
he?
going to
Yeah.
just sit there and cling to her and hope
No.
that she snaps out of it.
Yeah.
And also, in a way, this is the best way for it, because he's not going to. He can't blame Damon for this. So he's not
Yes.
going to then be like, you did this and you tried to do this. Like, he
Yeah.
knows that Damon didn't do that.
Yeah.
And sort of tried to make it better for Stefan by saying, actually, he's acting in your best interest. He's not being a dick. Blah, blah, blah. And trying to fix it.
So, I mean, I think there's no bad blood here. Everyone's been acting with integrity, which is good. And it's very different to what happened with Catherine. Elena's like the opposite, because as you said, Catherine was knowingly playing them off each other, and she wanted Stefan, and Damon got left hanging, which was awful. This is like the opposite, where Elena is not knowingly doing it at all, best intentions, trying to figure it out, but if she will eventually actually end up with Damon rather than Stefan, it's like the flip of what happened with Catherine. It's interesting.
I wonder
It's like a
if
parody.
Damon's personality, he seems to. We've obviously not seen him with a lot of people. So he was in love with Catherine, and he was obsessed with that for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's almost like Damon
I don't think
loves,
that was genuine love, though. I think that was infatuation,
But also,
and it was one-sided.
But I feel like Damon loves with his whole self
Mm.
and the whole thing. Like, he's not like, well, I love
He's
this
very
bit, but
passionate.
not this bit, and like he's all in.
Mm.
Whereas I think Stefan's a bit more like cautious.
Interesting. You know how people say, like, oh, you wear your heart on your sleeve? It's almost like Damon wears his passion on his sleeve. You know, like he's really there. Interesting. But yeah, so the only thing I have from that, I thought that was very cathartic and very needed, but by the end of that episode I was like, oh, that's good. But now there's that question of what's next? Where's it going to go? How they're going to navigate that? How they're going to, you know. Also, what I don't want, although there is this, obviously this electricity and things have been happening between Elena and Damon, I don't want her to suddenly be like, oh, thanks, because he's made that decision, I'm going to go to Damon. I kind of want her to have a little bit of time on her own, and then for that to naturally happen if that's going to be the case.
I would like them to have some hardcore vampire sex, to be honest.
Totally on the cards, needed, right? But not in a
doesn't
rebound.
want to have that?
Not in a rebound way.
No.
I want, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't.
But again, I
Yeah.
don't think this is a rebound. I think the feelings for Damon
No, it's been there all the
have-
time. Yeah. But that's what I mean. I think
So I
it
don't
would
think
be...
it's like flitting from one
I
to
think
the other.
but
what
it
you
would
mean
be-
is, if the feelings were there before and they're there now, they'll still be there if you take a little bit of time.
Absolutely, because
to-
otherwise it will feel icky, because it's like, oh, now I can be with you because I've been given permission because he's taken himself away. It would almost be disrespectful to Stefan to jump ship that quickly.
Yeah, that is true.
I think it should be, she should have some respect for both of them and have a little chapter in between, just so that it's, you know,
Yeah.
disrespectful if you're literally like, yeah, okay. Like,
And also, she's still trying to come to terms with being a vampire. I think that needs to be your
yeah,
focus.
yeah. And that she did kill someone. So for sure, I respect that she's going to need to go through some sort of a grieving process. But that was just fucked up because she had this magic making her, you know. But for sure, because of her empathy and her humanity and personified as a vampire, she's going to have a grieving process whenever she was going to eventually kill someone anyway. So yeah. Gosh.
I'd say one last thing on Damon is we saw 2 instances in this episode, and I'm really glad when they put them in, because it's just a little reminder, 2 moments of him grieving Alaric.
Yeah.
And you just kind of remember, it really hasn't been that long that he lost a friend.
Yeah. And again, that he feels with his whole self, even if he doesn't show it, because other people aren't doing that. He's visited the grave. He always has the seat next to him and the drink. You know what I mean? So,
and we saw him
he
in
really
Alaric's
feels
classroom
deeply.
with the bottle when he spoke to him. You know,
Yeah,
just these small moments to remind you of it hasn't been that long. And remember this character? People do still care.
Yeah.
You know, because...
But it's interesting, isn't it? Because he's possibly the one that people would think would care the least, and actually he cares the most.
Because, you know, there are so many shows that kill off a character and then they're not never mentioned again.
Done! Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so... our next grouping, Caroline, Tyler, Hayley.
That was a good little plan there.
Hayley.
But I totally am on board with what Kat said.
You don't walk up to someone else's boyfriend and wipe their fucking lip with your thumb. Don't do that.
But
it's not
that was part of the
deliberate,
showy
though,
plan in front of Klaus.
Yeah, he was there.
He saw it at the end and he was like, oh, am I interrupting?
They knew
So
he
that
was
was
there.
part of the
Yeah,
plan.
I'll allow that.
However, when you're absolutely right, when Caroline did turn up and she looked at them kissing, she sort of looked away awkwardly. So I do think Hayley has some feelings for Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did like the whole charade of the breakup and the two girls. You're like, so clearly off screen there has been some conversations
Yes.
and you two are
Yes.
okay with each other.
Which
you
is
know?
I do
nice.
like
Yeah.
now Tyler is not happy because he's orchestrated this breakup in the first place,
And now
you
Caroline's
don't
going
like
with
the
it.
consequences
Because Caroline's
of
going
that
with it
orchestration
and having a
because
date with Klaus.
now Caroline's had to do something, and I get why he's pissing
Yeah.
because Caroline's like, yeah, but we saved our friend, and he was like, you saved your friend. Like, yes, we saved our friend, but
He's lost his friend and his girlfriend, who is still his girlfriend.
He's going on a date
He's going on a date with
Klaus.
Klaus
Come
because
on.
they have to pretend she's no longer his girlfriend.
Yeah, I think
It's a bad day for Tyler.
And you know, like Tyler was saying, that's a friend that they've helped and they've told him they're going to help him.
He
and
got in
protect
trouble
him.
because of that. He died because
Yeah.
of him helping
And just
them.
because it's
That's
not
really
Caroline's
sad.
friend doesn't mean it's not
Yeah.
Tyler's friend, and I think that's where he was making that.
And the point that she
Yeah.
was in agreement with the sacrifice. That he was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you-
I just think she could have showed a little bit more sadness of that
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
Of, do you know what I mean? As in, there was no way out, and it's so horrible, and I'm so sorry, and you know, just a little bit more emotion, I think.
And Hayley probably woke up from her sleep like, oh yay, they found it.
Bitch was pretending to be asleep on the couch.
She was
Listening.
Oh yeah, they have a fight, and then later she's gonna be like, well, Tyler, I don't know because I don't think that
That's their
she
bonding
should be going
moment
out-
over Chris.
She should be going out on a date with Claire.
Ah, Chris. I just.
it's
It's just how I hear it because of Family Guy.
I always enjoy the Caroline and Klaus scenes.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah.
When I like the fact that she didn't go in with an immediate distraction. She went with the "so I'm here to convince you."
She went in kind of honestly about it, really.
Well,
yeah, a
not
little
exactly,
bit.
but
Yeah, but kind of.
if she'd have just gone in and
she
been
knew
nice,
she couldn't
yeah.
lie all of it, so she actually had to admit some of
if
it.
she'd have just gone in and been nice, he would have been suspicious.
Yeah.
Although what I would have gone with personally would have been to sit down and be like, yeah, well, I'm mad at Tyler and he hates it when I'm with you, so we're gonna have a drink, okay? Because you know he
It
would
could
have been
another
like,
angle. Yeah,
okay.
you'd have been okay with that. Yeah, another angle.
So at the end there, Matt stepping up because
Oh, Matt.
Matt is paying attention.
Matt is switched
Matt
on.
is so fucking smart,
Matt-
man.
just like I am, because that's what I said. I was like, April said she recognised the dude, but we've not seen her see that
No.
man.
I
So-
love the fact that it's almost like being just an average human in this town pays off because people tell me stuff.
People underestimating him. That he's just there in the
Yeah.
background, silly little human. He's
I
picking
like
up
the way
things.
he was like, I know you don't like me, but listen.
Mm.
And then Dane was like, alright,
What did he
okay.
say? You're on the verge of impressing me.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he's smart.
But I love the fact that he addresses and anyone who knows anything here is suspicious until proven otherwise.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's creepy.
But I also like the fact that he's just gone to the police station and be like, hey, yo, I need the call records from that house. They're going, yeah, sure, Matt, here you go.
Well, he knows the chief of police, so.
Yeah, but still, like, they're still like, yeah, sure, Matt, no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, literally, he's playing that innocent, blue-eyed blonde guy perfectly.
Yeah.
Don't know
Enjoy
anything.
yourself.
But I just love the fact that, again, as we say, in a TV show where often in TV shows they just overlook certain things you're meant to just trust or not think about
he's
it.
been clocking
No,
it
they're
up.
addressing that idea of
Yeah.
anyone who knows stuff because
Yeah.
we'd be sitting here going, are we not going to ask any questions?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. He's
Like
been
Bonnie,
clocking them up.
Bonnie
and-
blindly trusting him. We're saying, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Also, though, Damon clocked pretty quickly when he was like, oh, that guy, Atticus Shane or whatever, Damon's like, oh, fuck, we asked him for help.
Mm.
Like, Damon, I think, very quickly was like,
Yes.
Yeah.
shit.
And-
Like,
and
we've
he's
asked
got a
him for
reason
help
that he's here
and
in
he's been
town.
with Bonnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next episode's going to be very interesting.
Or the Wicked Witch of the West as well.
I don't know why, but obviously there's something there. Is he that Silas dude or what? Is he an immortal? But look, she's smiling. She's trying to hold it in. He's talking about this rock.
Yeah.
You're smiling. You know a spoiler. Do you know something? But he's talking about this rock, right? And this dude, and this Silas dude, and the women and whatnot. Either he is Silas, he is this immortal dude. How'd you get out being buried alive? Or he wants to raise this Silas dude. I don't know, but there's obviously something there. But I also really like the fact that he said, because he, like any immortal in their lifetime, right? How old is he supposed to be? In his early 30s? I don't know. He was like, oh, I've travelled the world 10 times over. How much fucking time you got, mate? You must be immortal. But unless it's an expression. But you know what I mean? Like someone would normally say, I've seen everywhere in the world and I've chased this. But to say it 10 times over, I'm like, how much time have you been alive? So I don't know. He's yeah. But
I hate to break it to you, the only spoiler I know has already happened. So.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But I like the fact that he said, I've looked at all monsters all around the world and witches are by far the most powerful. I was like, yes, there's got to be more witchy stuff coming. But yeah, I wonder if he is that Silas dude. I don't know. Or maybe the hunter's map leads him to the grave of Silas so they can resurrect him. I don't know.
We need another proper baddie because we've killed the hunter.
Yeah.
We've got Jeremy as a hunter. Well, we know he's not going to be doing any hunting.
Yeah.
And Klaus is
there.
Kind of an ally at this point.
But he's playing the long game. He needs Elena back as a human, so he's playing the long game. So he's not a threat right now.
Yeah, he's not working
He's
against
just a dick.
Us.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. And also, just to say, I sound like a right pervert this episode, but whatever bar that Matt and Jeremy would work in as hot waiters, yes, we would go and visit. Why can't waiters look like that in the bars that we go to? We don't go to bars, but, you know.
Yeah, maybe we would if the waiters
yeah,
looked like that.
That's exactly my point. Yes. Bring on the hot waiters. But yeah. Anyway.
Okay. I'd like to know who owns that grill.
Yeah, there's never any manager, is there? It's just all the wait staff.
It's just young people.
And they just have to keep funding every time it gets blown up or set on fire.
There's probably insurance for that. Maybe there's some.
Imagine what their premiums are though when they keep doing.
Maybe there's a vampire benevolent fund and like
Damon actually owns the bar.
Yeah, Damon owns it or something.
I'm curious as to what is it April?
Yeah.
I'm curious as to what her role is going to be because right now, bless her, she's bouncing around looking for a friend, dropping little bits of knowledge of, hey, I think I know that guy, and that's it. But I'm curious to see.
Like, older.
Yeah, she's kind of dropping hints which are connecting the dots elsewhere, but I'm curious as to what her role independently is going to be. Well, her dad was the crazy pastor, right?
Yeah.
So
why? He was into all of this.
Yeah, he was into Professor Man. So
yeah.
I don't know. Which is interesting. So Crazy Pastor Man was on the council.
Mm.
So someone on the council was talking to Crazy Professor Man. How long for? Why?
Matt said in the months leading up to it was 1 call a day and then 10 on the day that it happened.
Interesting. But yeah, it's just something that linked to the council, you know.
Hypnosis.
Yeah.
Okay. Very suspicious. Okay, so that was our reaction to The Vampire Diaries, Season 4, Episode 6. We all go a little mad sometimes. Thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.